Hi there, I'm Matt Lorch, news anchor and reporter at Q13 News in Seattle. Question for you, are you feeling isolated as we all try to stay home and stay healthy during this outbreak? So many of us are feeling lonely. And unfortunately, that's something our athletes experience way too often. And improving the health of our athletes and people with intellectual disabilities was actually going to be the focus of this year's Breakfast with Champions. We can't gather this year in a big ballroom in downtown Seattle, but we really want to bring the event and the important conversation about inclusive health online. Thank you so much for being a part of this important conversation. What is Special Olympics doing right now during this time of social distancing to make sure that our athletes feel connected?
So we have a program called Fit 5, and we have a Fit 5 30-day challenge. And we have tracking forms for them, and they go on and share those with their teams, and they share their ideas for how to do it. We've got activity guides for different things you might do at home. We also have home training guides. So a lot of our coaches have activated their home training guides, and they're sending workouts to do at home, doing all that. And then again, the mental health piece of just checking in with each other, and saying, hey, we got this. It's really a very holistic approach that's driven by the athletes.
Yeah, not surprising. Our athletes are the ones driving the change.
I'd say that Fit 5 program is something else. I have had athletes that drink nothing but soda pop all day long that are now drinking 5 water bottles a day of water, not pop, water. We've had athletes do everything from lose a few pounds if they needed it to gaining a few pounds if they needed it. We have had blood pressures drop. And the agility of our athletes is just has grown so much through the strengthening and exercising programs that go along with the Fit 5 program.
Crystal, I'd love an athlete's perspective on this. What are you doing right now to keep your mind sharp and your body strong during this time of social distancing?
I'm taking a lot of walks because I do track and field. I like to walk the 5K, so it gives me a chance to actually go outside and walk a lot. Mentally wise, I do have anxiety and depression, and PTSD, but it's a little bit calmer. But with everything that's going on, yeah, I do worry. But at the same time, it's one of those, okay, what can I do to keep myself occupied? So walking is really, really helpful at the moment.
That's a really important message for other athletes who may be consuming this and having some anxiety as we all are feeling right now. Thank you, Crystal, for that. Jaquanda, does Kaiser Permanente have advice on things we can all be doing right now as anxiety levels go up and we are all thinking about our health and well-being?
Yes. Take those moments to take those walks. Thank you, Crystal, for that. That's one of the best ways. Get some fresh air. We've even been trying to talk about social distancing more so around physical distancing, right? We want to find those ways to stay engaged with the people that we love, but just keeping that physical distance, which is important for us. Meditation, quiet moments, one being okay with not being okay, right? A lot of people have a lot of fear and about the uncertainty of the time that we're in right now, and recognizing that, but also just remembering there are ways that you can think through that, you can breathe through that. Definitely getting enough sleep is very important. Making sure you're hydrating, making sure you're doing those fitness challenges. And so those are all of the ways that we've been encouraging each other as well as our members.
It was interesting. I did happen to go out to the local grocery store the other day, and I masked up and gloved up, and from clear across the other aisle, I hear, Coach Pam, and one of my athletes' moms are, holding him back. No, you can't give her a hug today. You can't give her a hug, and the look on his face was just devastating, because he didn't understand why he couldn't come up and hug me, why there's this social distancing. So one thing that we've been really doing, trying to be important about doing, is maintaining contact, trying to encourage the athletes to call in on one another, check on one another. They miss their coaches, they miss their athletes, they miss their friends that they're used to hanging out with. So we're utilizing everything we can to keep them motivated, to eat healthy, to get out there walking like Crystal's doing. We really appreciate that, Crystal. Good job. I think that our athletes are coming to and realizing we're going to survive this together.
When you've been in Special Olympics, you have this mind of an athlete, which gives you some qualities like resilience, like grit. These kind of things that help push you through challenging times, that mean that I might have to do work a little bit harder to get what I want. That's the mind of an athlete. And in Special Olympics, you start creating that mental wellness and mental acuity for those kind of things. And that makes it so much easier than to handle some of these things that happen. I think that anything that we can do to increase those positive experiences, to increase those relationships, to keep having meaning. And I think that's why the phrase "we're all in this together" was said earlier, and why it matters so much, because there's still a big we, even though you may feel like an I occasionally. But I think happier people are healthier people, and healthier people are happier people. These just go together, and I think that's what Special Olympics brings.
And I think it's one of the reasons why it's so important to support what we're doing. People should be able to trust now that Special Olympics is going to be as innovative and as effective as we can possibly be in improving the lives of our athletes.
Please support more people with intellectual disabilities in our state by clicking on the link provided or going to breakfastwithchampions.org. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting our 19,500 athletes through Special Olympics Washington.